This is the Plain English Real Estate Show with your host, Rowena Patton, a show that focuses on the real estate market in terms you can easily understand. Now here's the English girl in the mountains, the agent that I would trust, Rowena Patton.
Good morning, it's Rowena Patton here at Real Estate News Radio, and today we're talking about community wells and septics versus individual systems. I get this question all the time, so I thought we'd do a quick outline on it. And, sometimes the community wells and community septic systems can beat individual systems. In fact, quite often for a lot of buyers and neighborhoods. Let's set the scene. Two identical homes. One has its own private well and individual septic. The other plugs into a community well and a community, or sometimes called cluster, septics. Which one gives you fewer midnight surprises, cleaner records for resale, and usually smoother financing? In many cases, the community option wins. Here's why. Professional maintenance beats, I'll get to it. With community systems, maintenance isn't a maybe. It's scheduled. There's a licensed operator or a contracted company checking pumps, monitoring pressure and flow, pulling water quality tests, and servicing tanks and treatment components. Those records live with the HOA or utility, so buyers, appraisers, and lenders can see actual history instead of guesses. With individual systems, upkeep is entirely on the homeowner. Some people are fantastic, others wait until something smells funny or the tap sputters. That's not a business plan. Now, I do know that when it's an individual septic, and I ask people, when was the last time you pumped it, which you're supposed to do every 3 to 5 years, most people say not since I moved in. Some people do it, however, that's always a question to ask. And then you have fewer big surprises and more predictable costs. Community setups spread costs across the homes that benefit. In other words, instead of one owner eating a $5,000 pump replacement or a $12,000 drain field rehab, you're typically paying a small monthly or quarterly fee that includes routine service and reserves. Predictability is gold in real estate. Private systems can be perfectly fine until they aren't. Of course, the other difference is that when you have a private system compared to a local government system, you're not generally paying fees on it. You're not paying fees to the local service. If a well runs low in a dry spell or a septic field fails right before closing, your deal timeline becomes a science experiment. Also, better siting and engineering because you're looking for something much bigger. Cluster septic isn't just one big tank. It's usually an engineered system sized for multiple homes because it's a development located where the soils actually work best. It can include advanced treatment or drip dispersal that individual lots can't easily support. Also, you've got to think about you're not building over it, which sometimes people do. That protects the groundwater and keeps yards from becoming no-mow zones when it rains for a week. Community wells are often paid with storage tanks and controls that maintain a steadier pressure. Translation, your shower doesn't care if 3 neighbors are also rinsing shampoo. Then you've got the cleaner paper trail equals easier resale. Buyers love paperwork when it proves the system is healthy. Community systems produce test results, service logs, permits, and capacity letters. That transparency reduces drama during due diligence, which is what happens in most places in the country when a buyer goes under contract on a house. Lenders also tend to relax when they see a third-party operation and documented compliance. Then you've got the environmental guardrails. Community systems are typically subject to regular testing and state oversight. Even when they aren't public utilities, they may be regulated more like small public systems. That oversight isn't red tape, it's quality control for the neighborhood and the watershed. But wait, what about the fees? I can hear you, Ro. I don't want another HOA bill. Fair. 2 quick thoughts. Fees replace emergencies. $10 a month for maintenance or whatever it is in your HOA is cheaper than a cracked tank or a deep well pump on Christmas Eve. Read the budget. Healthy communities keep reserves for big components and publish water quality or service reports. If you see good reserves and recent that fee is buying peace of mind. Let's look at when the individual wins, the individual systems. I'm not anti-well or anti-septic. A well on a great aquifer and a modern, well-maintained septic can be fabulous, especially on acreage where you want total independence. Just go in with eyes wide open, test the water, inspect the well equipment, scope the septic, and confirm there's a repair area on the lot for a future drain field if ever needed. So let's look at a quick buyer due diligence checklist. If you're looking at a community system, ask for the operator's name, service contract, and the last 12 to 24 months of water tests, capacity and allowed connections for both the well and the septic, the HOA budget and reserves, and any recent violation or notice. Rules about, this is an important one, irrigation or car washing, especially if you're in an area of the country that uses a lot of irrigation. Community systems often restrict heavy outdoor use. Clarify who owns what, the main system versus your home's lateral lines, and who pays if a line between the two needs work. Backup power for the well equipment, and that's nice to have during storms. If you're buying private, do a full well inspection, yield, pump age, pressure tank, plus a lab water test for bacteria, nitrates and metals as appropriate in your area. It's very, very common, just know this, that a water test comes back positive for bacteria. And if you have a well and you're about to list your house, I would strongly suggest you shock it. You can do this for about $50 to $100 on your own. It's quite a simple process. Just make sure you follow all the instructions. Whereas should it go under contract and then it tests for bacteria, it's going to cost you anywhere between $250 and $750, depending on the issue, for a company to remediate that. And also a septic inspection with a tank locate, lids exposed, baffles checked, all that good stuff. Drain field evaluation. Don't settle for a drive-by. Confirm the repair area and past permits with the county. So what's the bottom line? Community well and septic systems trade a bit of independence for professional management, consistent quality, documented care, and share costs. For many homeowners, that equals fewer surprises and better resale. If you're the I'll fix it when it breaks type, go individual. If you're the show me the logs and keep the water clean type, community might be your best friend. You're listening to Rowena Patton, Real Estate News Radio, helping you move with confidence and sell with confidence. If you want my due diligence checklist for water and septic, I'll send it. Just ask. Until next time, stay curious and keep asking great questions about the dirt under your dream home. See you on the radio next time.
You've been listening to the Real Estate News Radio Show with my friend and the agent I trust, Rowena Patton. She's not only a best-selling author who's helped thousands sell their homes, including the tough ones, she also coaches agents across the country to elevate their game. Connect with Rowena at realestatenewsradio.com. And if you're thinking about selling, get your full market value offer at cashcpo.com.